When you buy a piece of acrylic, it always comes with a protective film, one on the back and one on the front. You can see that there. Please just leave that on to start with, and I'll show you how to use it to your advantage. The acrylic will normally come with one side that has a logo on it and then another side that's blank. So you'll be able to differentiate between the two in this video. So I'm using the logo side as my reverse side, and I'm creating a table plan today. So I've taken a Sharpie and I've measured out all of my lines on the reverse side. So now I've flipped it over on the table. You can see that I can still see the lines through it. And now I'm going to make my lettering. So I'm just going to have a play with the space. I always do this bit freehand. So let's have a go. And I know that I've already run out of space. So have a go and keep going until you're happy. Once you're happy with your lettering, maybe use a different colour and thicken up those lines so that you can really see where they are, because you'll need to be able to see these through from the other side in the next step. The ruler that I'm using is a Helix T-square, and the reason I use that is because you can hang it off the side and get a really great straight line as you move that up and down. So what I've done is I've completely thickened up the correct lettering, and I've added some lines just to keep me in check, and then I've added my table numbers underneath. And now I'm going to flip the whole thing over again. So you can see the lines through. You might want to hold this up to a window if you wish, which will make it a little bit clearer. So now what I'm going to do is trace over exactly what I've written on the front. I've decided to move over to the window. So we're looking at the reverse. I've written out my title again and my numbers, and the reason I haven't done any more is because I'm just going to freehand those on the other side. So we're on the reverse, remember, because we're on where the logo is. And what I'm just going to do now is add those lines again just to keep me in check. So now I'm back at my table and I flipped it back over, so this is what will be the front, no logo, and I'm peeling the protective film away. At this point you just want to make sure that you don't touch the acrylic underneath, because you really don't want any fingerprints on there, which will potentially stop your pen working as well as making a mark. And there you have it. So we have taken the protective layer off the front, we have our template on the back, and I'm just going to use some kitchen towel to lean on so that I'm really not making any mess on this at all. I personally love to use a Posca. I'm going to use 3M today in white, and let's go. So there we go, it's all finished, and I'm just going to leave it to dry now before the next stage. Another way to get to this stage is to map out what you would like to write on a piece of paper. Then simply place your piece of acrylic over the top, make sure it all lines up nicely, and then write over the top. And that's what I've done with this large piece here. You can see I have designed it all previously. I've even put some lines on to help me line it up, and then I've drawn over the top. So here are some other signs that I've been working on. They're nice and dry. I've popped some bubble wrap down to protect the writing because it's been flipped over. So this is the back that we're looking at here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to peel off that protective film and reveal the back of the signs. So here they are, no protective film left. Of course, you can leave your signs just blank, but a lot of people like to add a bit of colour. It helps to go with your theme, but also if you have a light background or you've got to think about the easel that it's going to go on, then you might want to consider painting the back just so that the information is nice and clear. And then all we do is paint. So this is acrylic paint. I'm just going to put a very thin layer on because you can layer it up. Okay, so just do this nice and quickly and then allow it to dry before you pop the next coat on. I quite like the rough edge effect. You could go all the way to the edges if you wanted, but for this order I'm going to leave the edges rough. Just bear in mind that you don't want to see really the complete brush strokes, so just be a bit careful. And this is the reason you wouldn't just use one coat, because as you can see it's kind of messy and still quite see-through. So that's why we'll put another coat on that